students, today I will discuss in front of you unit number 3 for CMA part 1. So what is the concept and what are the things I will discuss in front of you today? The first is called property, plant and equipment. Property, plant and equipment. Sometimes some students might heard about fixed assets, right? So what will be the accounting treatment, initial measurement for the fixed assets, what will be the subsequent measurement for the fixed assets, and how we are going to present our fixed assets in statement of financial position and statement of income and expenses. What is the concept of depreciation, what is the concept of impairment loss, extremely important. This is the thing I will discuss in front of you. Next, I will discuss the next point, which is related to impairment loss. What is the concept of impairment loss? Impairment loss is basically a mode of calculation which is provided in IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, as well as that concept with some variation is also available in US GAAP. US GAAP means generally accepted accounting principles. So what is the concept of impairment loss and how we are going to discuss about disposal of fixed assets or disposal, and what will be the double entry for disposal of fixed assets when we talk about gain on disposal of fixed assets and loss on disposal of fixed assets, as well as this portion is also going to cover revaluation of fixed assets. What are these things? Don't worry about that. In detail I will discuss in front of you. Next point, this is called intangible assets. What are intangible assets? Intangible assets are basically identifiable non-monetary assets. These kind of assets, they does not have any physical form. So there is no physical form. What are the different examples of intangible assets? We can have copyright, there can be patents, logos, customer lists and patents, so forth and so on. But remember one thing, that goodwill, this is extremely important, that goodwill is not covered under this intangible asset. What is the concept of goodwill and where we will discuss goodwill later on, that is another topic which I will discuss later on. So this is the concept of intangible assets and how to measure the intangible assets, what will be the subsequent measurement techniques, the concept of research and development expenditures, and as well as I will discuss in front of you the amortization techniques of intangible assets. Next point is for leases. There are currently two types of lease, broadly speaking two types of leases. One is called capital lease and the other one is called operating lease. Capital lease, when we talk about IFRS, this is called finance lease as well. So capital lease, finance lease as well as operating lease. What is the concept of minimum lease payments, what is the concept of internal rate of return,